Welcome back to All Things the Podcast. So in this episode, find out how Gage nearly died. We've got a controversial guest who has a message for his haters, and he made £20,000 profit in January alone. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Welcome back to All Things the Podcast. We've got a full house in the studio today. I'm here, I'm Ben. We've got Gage here. Right.
Hello.
Harry's back from skiing.
Hello.
And we've got a very special guest. This is a man who just recently did a face reveal on Twitter. He's not a cat, but he is called Felix. Welcome to the podcast. So, Felix, you've taken the Amazon FBA space by absolute storm. You've scaled up really, really quickly. So, just looking through some of your tweets here, you've made £20,000 profit in January. And that's profit, not revenue, because a lot of people say they made 20K.
Yeah, no orange bars over here.
Yeah.
Only dashboard screenshots.
Yeah, but when did you actually get into Amazon and how did you scale up so quickly?
I think my first sale was October the 15th, 2022. I feel like I'll always remember that date, probably for the rest of my life. Yeah, I mean, I'd had previous businesses, done various things before. Obviously, I had some nice starting capital to get it all started with. And yeah, I just kind of made it my whole thing. I was just, wasn't really doing any other projects as such. So it was just really any spare moment I got, I was working on Amazon. And yeah, just glad I started. Just saw Gage killing it. Thought, got to get involved.
Yeah, because you guys live close to each other down
Yeah, went to the same school.
The same school.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
and yeah.
I think it would surprise some of you. Felix is actually the year younger than me. So if you thought I was young, Felix is even younger than me.
I'm 20 years old.
Yeah, that's insane. But no, fair play. I mean, so what were you doing? But how did you build up your capital?
So I was doing like wholesale clothing logistics. So I just like pair orders together from like smaller brands that wouldn't really be able to work with like factories and stuff, and I kind of just pocket the difference. It felt a bit middleman-y, I guess, and I don't know. It started to taper off in the end because kind of the way it works, like as people grew, they'd be ordering a bunch of stuff from me, but then they just end up just going direct. And just kind of revenue started falling on that. I just decided it was time to jump ship and just try something new. And I was kind of caught between either selling shoes or selling on Amazon. I did a few 7 a.m. wake ups to cop shoes and very quickly realized I was not going to be doing this, especially when I don't think I got a single successful checkout. So I decided pretty early on, it's Amazon or nothing. Was going uni at the time, doing software engineering. Definitely helped towards like what I've built now. It's all very computer orientated, so it definitely helps. I'm well versed with that. And yeah, I just was committed to making it work. I mean, maybe not to the scale I've done it. I only really wanted to cover my bills and be able to pay for stuff throughout uni. But yeah, I just decided, fuck uni, I'll just do Amazon instead.
Yeah, why not? And it's incredible to see, like, because you've really broken the barrier. Because a lot of people get to sort of making, maybe between 2 and 5 grand profit and struggle, aside from December where everything goes crazy, to sort of hit those kind of 5-figure profit months consistently. Is that would you say that's down to capital, or are you doing things differently to most others?
I'd say a mix of both. I think capital has definitely a big impact of it, because obviously you can't sell stock that you're not able to buy in the first place. I'm probably a bit more adventurous of what I'd buy. I'm more willing to try new things. I think people with more limited capital might just not, I mean, also because I've got a business background, like I'm used to risking money. It's kind of what I've always done. So yeah, it definitely helped, but also just dedication to it. Like I literally wake up every morning, I check my phone, see how many sales I've got already. I just always thinking about it. It's completely immersed.
Yeah, no, that's the way to do it. I mean, you tweeted yesterday that you dropped 20 grand on a single ASIN.
30 grand actually.
30.
Yeah, so, that was I want to say it's nerve-wracking, but it actually wasn't really. Like I was just confident in what I was doing. I mean, obviously a little concerning if it doesn't work out, but I can't really see it not working out.
Yeah, but when you've been in business, it's just numbers on a screen effectively, and if the data checks out and it fits your risk profile.
Yeah. Obviously, when I started, I wasn't just reading that much money into products, but as of like recently, as I get more confident in my analysis and how I'm sourcing stuff, data checks out. I've proven track record of stuff working. So
can you give us a hint on the ASIN?
Yeah, if you just give me the ASIN.
Yeah,
drop a like and we'll post the ASIN below.
Does it start with a B?
It does start with a B.
Okay, guys.
I think it has a 0 in there as well.
I think there's only 7 letters left. You guys might be able to work it out.
So as much chance of winning the lottery as
yes.
guessing.
Yeah. You can take your picks. I wouldn't even tell you how many units I bought. I am keeping it completely closed lips.
Smart.
Yeah. No, so obviously your principle is go wide and not deep. I mean, it doesn't come much going deeper than spending that amount on an ASIN. So so yeah, it seems like you've kind of come up with your own strategy. I mean, but is it?
I'd still say I go wide as well. I mean, I've got. I normally sit around like 500 or 600 active listings. So I'd definitely say wide, but when the time
it's just
comes,
this specific
if the
one,
volume's there, like most products I might only spend a few hundred quid on. Every now and then I'll spend like 5k on a single product. This is definitely more unusual than what I'm used to. I've never spent this much on a single product. I think the record before this was like 10,000. But yeah, I think it will work out.
Yeah,
You only live once. So
no, absolutely.
I think I'd be much more unhappy if I never tried it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's better to regret something you've done than something you haven't.
Hopefully, it's not La Roche per se, because that's that's just become restricted. So
really, it was a whole pallet of that.
7,000 units
stuff as well.
eBay's about to be flooded.
Yeah, definitely keep your receipt for that one.
Thankfully, it's not beauty. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Cool. It was always fun seeing Felix around school because we'd always be wearing like our Supreme North Face coats. we started very young selling stuff and doing business.
It's hunger, really, for making money. I just didn't want to stay broke.
Did you feel like you could have got better grades if you weren't doing your business?
I mean, I got all right grades. Definitely when I went to Chatham, I got better grades. I do agree. I think I probably could have done, got A stars if I dedicated myself to school as much as I have like Amazon and stuff.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't as interested. Computer science, I got like A stars. But
I'm sure you really regret those missed A stars when you look at your 20 grand profit for January.
Yeah.
If you'd worked slightly harder, you could have got those A stars.
I actually didn't do too great in A levels. So I was kind of lucky enough that it was COVID, so we didn't do proper exams. It was like the teacher kind of had a say in the grade.
Was it just based on your predicted grades then?
Yeah, a little bit. We did do like little exams, but they were kind of just a part of the equation as well as your predicted and stuff like that. So I did all right. I think I got like a B in computer science. But I didn't revise at all. I did like a couple hours of computer science and then nothing else. Got an E in psychology.
An E?
Yeah.
E for excellent.
Because I was just so involved in my business at the time. It wasn't really something I cared about.
I don't even know how you can get an E if you don't sit the exam.
I know.
Your teacher must have thought this guy is not good.
I wish he had more confidence in me because I did like psychology. It's not like I hated it. I just had better things to do than revise psychology.
Do any of your teachers, do you know if they follow you on Twitter or anything like that? They've seen what you're up to now?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I wouldn't mind seeing my computer science teacher. She was pretty nice, even though everyone hated her.
I was about to say, because if they saw your tweets, you might have got higher than an E. You're rent-free in a few people's heads on Twitter, aren't you? So
did you have Mrs. Wright for computer science?
I did.
I fucking hated that.
I told you, everyone hates her. I actually thought she was alright, but I think it's just because she really liked me, because I actually was like the only one that put in effort.
I got a C. She gave me a C. Because I didn't sit the exam either. But mine wasn't even based on any exams, just the teacher. But 25% of the A level is coursework. I got an A star on the coursework. She gave me a C. I'm like, oh, I hated her so much.
So Mrs. Wright, no relation to me.
Oh, that's really strange. My mum was a teacher.
That'd be weird.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go on to Twitter. So this is going to be interesting. So you've been sharing your story and generating a few fans, or some would call them fans, some would call them haters.
Fans.
Yeah,
I think really they truly love me at heart.
Yeah.
If they're spending this much time thinking about me and replying to my tweets,
they got notifications on.
Definitely.
No, but because I've copped a few hate comments in my time, but I just block and move on. But you have a very different approach, and you take them face on, don't you?
Yeah, I just feel like if you're gonna comment something about it, then I just prefer to reply and prove you wrong, and take it any way you want, really. I guess I do a mentorship thing, but it's not my main business. I'm just focused on my store. You can kind of think what you want about it.
Yeah, there is. I think a lot of it stems from kind of jealousy because you've obviously come on the scene very quickly and now doing better than most others. And yeah, I mean, you can tell a lot about a person how they react to someone doing better than them. So like for most normal people, it'd be, oh, fair play to him, he's doing really well. Can I take inspiration from this to do better in my own business? But yeah, when your initial reaction is bitterness, jealousy, I think that says a lot about you. And
I don't really see the point of it, to be honest. Like if they're doing well, I'm doing well, both making lots of money doing the same thing. Why would it not be more beneficial to network, make friends, work together? I mean, hence why I'm here, hence why I talk to lots of other Amazon sellers. But some people just aren't interested, I guess.
Yeah. So have you got a message for your fans? Because they'll definitely be watching this.
I don't know, really.
There we are, guys. He doesn't have a bowl cut.
Yeah, I don't have a bowl cut, as you can probably see.
You got to turn your head. We need like a 360 angle.
Oh, that's definitely a bowl cut.
There we are, guys.
No, he had it cut yesterday.
Had it repaired just in time.
Yeah. But no, so what does the future look like for you? You just are you a long-term thinker, or just take it 1 month at a time?
Definitely long term, especially now I've dropped out of uni, so it's like my main plan really is to make this work, and which I think is the right move. I've always liked e-commerce. Branching more into wholesale this year, just getting some bigger orders in, turning over more money. I'm thinking about private label because it seems a very good long-term plan. I mean, I think you can fail a lot at it for like a whole year and nothing will really stick. You'll just be like breaking even. But I think once you get something to stick, it can work like really well.
But all you need is one product.
Yeah,
and people have you talk about 7-figure exits and stuff like that, which is a possibility.
And like that would be life-changing money, and that's what I want yacht money. That's the end goal really. A nice little yacht or something like that. And I think that will only ever really come from something like private label, where you can do like a sale of the brand. So I probably will get into that. Kind of be putting off just because I kind of prefer chasing quicker money.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I've got to do it for the long term.
Slightly off topic, but I do have to bring it up. Speaking of yachts, I found out yesterday that Jeff Bezos, on one of his yachts, because he has multiple, on one of his yachts, sometimes on pirate ships they have like a mermaid at the front, like a statue of a mermaid right before, so like hits the waves. He has that, but his girlfriend is on the front of his yacht as like a statue. Is that not insane?
That's so cringe.
Yeah.
Why?
That's yacht money.
Yeah. Then again, if you got that kind of money, why not?
It's just all if they end up splitting up, he's got to then replace the statue.
Yeah.
Well, that's when we'll get a seller fee increase, won't we?
Yeah. Paying for another one of his bloody yachts.
So what made you decide to drop out of uni? I'm sure some people listening are in uni.
Yeah.
Probably don't drop out.
I was only in my first year, so I wouldn't advise anyone that's actually put a lot towards it dropping out. I might as well follow it through. But I'd only done my first year. I already had my flat and stuff, so I was secure-ish financially, enough that I could venture into the business. And it was just a case of, I just saw my sales figures. I was just like, it was already like early on, like a few months in, it was way more than what I expected. So I just thought, if it's working this well already, I can kind of commit to it. And I stayed till the end of the year, did my end of year exams and all that stuff, did all right. But yeah, when the time came to like re-enroll in the next year, I was already making like 10K a month, like every month. And I thought, like, that's like tuition for a year. Like, why am I here? Like, what's the end goal? Like, if I stay in uni, get a job in computer science, starting salary like 30, 40 grand, like if I get a good one. Because it's a lot more saturated than when I've had this as my dream when I was like 7 years old, when talk of like 150K starting salary and shit for people in tech. So I just figured, e-commerce is what I'm good at. I'm making money. Really, what is life about other than just having enough money to do what you want? And it'd already given me a lot of freedom, so I just thought I'd stick with it.
No, it's very nice. And now you have total freedom.
Yeah, pretty much.
So when you placed your 30 grand order at your supplier, they didn't say, "Oh no, sorry, have you got a degree?"
No, they did not. I mean, no hate on degrees. I think you can definitely get ones that are worthwhile. But if you've got a way to make money already, kind of what's the point?
No, I completely agree.
You can always go back to uni if it all goes to shit. But
yeah. I mean,
hopefully it won't.
Yeah, I think because so many people go to uni now. I mean, I would say getting a degree is more saturated than Amazon even. Because it's kind of the value of it has been degraded because everyone has a degree and you've got like, you can get a degree in Taylor Swift and shit like that now.
Yeah.
So I think like to my future kids, like if they want to be a doctor or a lawyer where you actually need a degree to study to be able to actually do the job because it's a progressive career like that, then obviously you need to go to uni. But like if I had a 16-year-old kid, I'd say either start a side hustle or become like an electrician apprentice or something. And then by the time all your mates are leaving uni with 100 grand in debt, you could be making a similar amount with your own.
It's so expensive,
business.
and thinking of a whole life where you've got that much debt hanging over you. I mean, computer science, complicated. Being a doctor, complicated. Those kind of things, you need a degree. But you know, if you've got a degree in like fine arts or something, what's the plan to pay off that debt? Like, is it really worthwhile?
My uncle has a degree in art, and he works in a library.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he sells books in the library. Well, do they sell books in libraries? I don't know.
I mean, you can buy books in libraries.
Yeah, loan them out. Never been.
Have you ever been to a library?
No. I think I have once when my internet went out. I went to a library and used a computer as a kid.
Actually, a physical book. Oh,
never touched a book in my life.
Thing at the library, computer at the library.
I did actually buy the Daniel Carnegie, that How to Win Friends and Influence People. I bought that book because all the money influencers are always like, get that book and read it. And I read like 4 pages and then I stopped, and now it just sits on my desk. Yeah.
But how are you going to win friends and influence people now?
I have no idea now. I don't know. The summary of the book is just call people by their name and they like it. Oh, wow.
Well said, Gage.
Yeah.
Great point, Ben. Do you read a lot now?
No, I don't read anything. What about you?
No, not really. I mean, I haven't read a book in ages. I used to read a lot when I was younger, like literally like all day I'd be reading. Nowadays I don't know. I'd say I don't have the time, but that's just a lie. I just don't make the time to read. I just do other stuff.
I think where we have brain rot, like everyone now has brain rot in where they're just looking at things all day on their phone.
Yeah.
I find it impossible to read a book. Like my attention span just isn't there for it.
Yeah.
It could be really captivating and something I actually want to read. And I don't think I'm able to read it. I have that much brain rot.
So you're telling me you guys don't get up at 6 a.m, read a book, cold shower?
I wake up. I just wake up, still tired from the night before somehow.
Pot noodle and a wank.
10 o'clock, get out of bed, force myself to have a shower. That's about it, really.
So an early start for you today, getting up here.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I said to Gage. I was like, bloody hell, I had to wake up at like 8 o'clock this morning. It's unusual.
Yeah.
But that's what it's like being your own boss. You don't have to wake up at a certain time, right? I still get the work
done at the end of the day, so it doesn't really matter when I do it.
I always find that the biggest scam, because it's always like my dad and like people I know who are like the older generation, they're like, oh, well, we get up at, the crack of dawn to, money doesn't sleep, all this. It's like, well, that's all well and good. Like, if, you work 12 hours a day, but if you're putting in efficient hours of half that time, then it's not worth it. I'd rather get up at 10 a.m. and put in solid work for a day and then finish whenever I want to finish. At least I'm getting the work done. Doesn't matter.
I was speaking to my girlfriend's dad once, and he was telling me that I don't know what hard work is, because when he was my age, he was on a farm shoveling cowpat. I was like, yeah, I mean, you definitely did work harder than me, but
yeah, they definitely worked a lot harder. That would be what we roll out of bed, refresh seller toolkit. Looks good. Maybe I should probably buy some more products.
Yeah,
I'm very thankful that's not the life I live. Shoveling actual shit.
Yeah, he was telling me like,
any hard labor.
One time I fell face first into the cowpat. Bloody hell, mate. That sounds hard.
Once cereal on my keyboard.
It can feel like that when you get an IP claim or something on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah, not literally having your face.
Have you ever had your inventory come in as unfulfillable? Like, that's cowpat.
No, have you ever had it where you've sent in something and they just send it back to you? No reason, as far as I can see, given. And then you send it back in again, and they send it back to you again. It's like,
I had that before, but it worked out because there was protests at one of the Amazon fulfillment centers for large items.
Oh.
And
it has always been large items.
Yeah,
it's happened to me.
Yeah, there was a protest, and then they got sent back. And then I opened a seller support case, like, oh, the box had been damaged because they had been damaged. And then they refunded me the shipping and like reimbursed me for the goods. And then I saw they were still doing the protests, So I just shipped them again. I came back again. And I think I did this 3 times because I saw, I saw there was still
each time.
Yeah, 3 times. Seriously, 3 times.
God, I hope no one from
Was that your mate? Or was that you?
That one was me. And they were like kids' kitchen play sets, and then I donated all of them to a local school after. So it all had a nice ending.
Pillar of society.
Yeah, pillar of society. They gave me lots of bagels. Weirdly enough, after they were like, "Oh, we got lots of bagels." So I was eating bagels for like a week.
I think the first time I was ever blessed by an error like that, it was like when I first started selling, it was like some induction hobs or something I sent in, and like they were supposed to be sent back to me for some reason. I think I was like dabbling with A2A and didn't really know what I was doing, so I was gonna return them, and then they got sent back to me, and then I opened a case at like 9 a.m. that morning or something, got reimbursed like an hour later because they just hadn't arrived, and then literally like 15 minutes after I got the reimbursement, UPS knock on the door. Here's your induction hobs. I just sent them right back in. It's great.
Have you guys had any stories like that? Like crazy reimbursement? I had it with the pool. Do you remember when I got Matt Lou's pools turn up at my door?
That was funny.
So like during the COVID days, I like swimming pools were huge, and I sent 6 in, they went missing. Created a removal order and never received them. 2 or 3 months later, I created a case and I got reimbursed like really good profit. I think like nearly 50 to 70% ROI on each one. And then 2 months later, I received a pallet and it just got Matt Lou's details all over the side, all 6 of them. So obviously got the reimbursement and the pools as well. But these days they reverse the reimbursements, don't they?
Yeah, they should do. Sometimes they still don't though. I've had a couple where I've raised the case to get reimbursed, and then it randomly they turn back up in my inventory, but they don't claim it back. So sometimes you do get there's like a banker error in your favor on Monopoly or whatever, because it is so easy to lose money out the back door of your Amazon business if you're not keeping on top of stuff going missing from shipments, of like wrong fees and things like that. So yeah, it's nice when things work in your favor and you actually get a bonus instead of having to claim back money.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of effort I have to put into just making sure that stuff has arrived, and I'm actually, it's not just going missing.
Yeah, especially the your scale. I mean, how do you?
Shipments are crazy.
But what's your process for making sure you stay on top of this?
So I was doing it all myself at one point. Earlier in 2023, like springtime-ish, I hired an admin VA from ATC, and just brilliant. I honestly couldn't run the business without her. Shout out Christine if you're watching this. She is amazing.
So, but what tasks does she do for you?
She does inbound reconciliation. So like, which is the main loss maker. I think last year they lost like 30 grand worth of stuff or something of me. Which, if you're not chasing that, that's 30 grand into your profits you're losing. So she does that. She does like prep sheet reconciliation, so just making sure everything's arrived from retailers at the prep center. Chasing up any returns that are like awfully damaged. Though it's not too common. Most of the time, stuff like we can send back in. But if a customer's like sent back the wrong item or sent back a laptop, but the laptop's missing, there's just a charger in the box. Stuff like that she'll chase up. I'm trying to think. I'm literally so disconnected from it now because how well she does it that I kind of forget what she does. Just all the boring stuff, just all the spreadsheets that I just don't have time for. And
did she do do you do the purchasing?
Yeah, I still do the purchasing, still do deal analysis, and I've got a VA that sources for me as well to supplement my own deals. But yeah, she's just amazing.
Yeah, fair play. So you do sourcing yourself as well, I guess.
Yeah,
to find these
sourcing. I say like 80% of the deals I find is just sourced by me, because I just find that if you source yourself, it's always better than what VAs tend to bring in. I don't know why. They just I always just find better things and less saturated things as well. Like, you join listings where they don't just tank after a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because if a VA finds you an item, chances are other VAs have been looking on the same site. And
I think the worst thing is me finding a good deal and then I send it to like a friend for like a second opinion, and they're like, "Oh, my VA found this morning." I'm like, cancelling my order.
Yeah.
That actually happened to me yesterday. It was very sad. I think the one I sent you, I sent to Liam, and he was like, "Yeah, my VA found that." Half my order's quantity then.
So what's your sourcing technique, and how did you pick it up?
That's the big secret, really.
That's what we're here to reveal.
Yeah, I mean, I joined all things Amazon when I first started, Just learned all the basics for Keeper and SAS, and just kind of used my own previous experience and just dedication, just being on the computer all the time, trying to make it work. Just figured out my own little systems for it. I've got like 3 kind of distinct ways that I don't see many other sellers talk about, but I'm afraid I can't reveal them on the podcast. So
purchase the membership. Purchase the mentorship to find out.
It's only $3,000.
Is the paywall.
Yeah. Block out the cameras.
How many hours do you think you spend on your Amazon business?
Oh, way less than I used to. Like when I first started, like so much time, like all day, literally. Now I've got the admin handled. It takes a big chunk of tasks out of it. I don't know. It's hard because like some days I work all day and other days I work like a couple hours. I say probably an average, maybe like 4 hours a day.
Oh, nice.
Of like actual work. Yeah, it's actually become a thing lately. I've been like, wow, I actually have free time for the first time in my life. Like at any other point during my life, I've always had like a business to work on in my free time. So yeah, just had to be finding other things to do.
And if you genuinely enjoy it, it doesn't feel like work. Because I enjoy the data analysis side. I enjoy feeling like I'm sort of getting one over on the retailers that I'm buying from, and like finding a
I absolutely love it. I definitely very, very glad I started. Obviously the money is great, but it just gives you something nice to do.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not for everyone. If the idea of looking at graphs and analysing stuff is your idea of hell, then you probably shouldn't sell on Amazon.
No, it's just like when you find something profitable, when you make a sale, it gives you that little rush. It's just amazing.
Yeah, but can you remember the first item you sold?
Yes, it was something from B&M, and I sold it for a loss.
Oh, really?
Some like really cheap thing, but I think it was like my 3rd or 4th sale. I sold a phone from an Amazon to Amazon flip, and I made like £100 just off that one phone, and I was like, wow. Yeah.
And then it's just like, right,
this is like, that's real money.
Time to scale
like,
this.
Yeah, and I was like, if I could sell 100 of those phones in a day,
exactly,
easy.
Everyone can remember their first sale because that's the most important. That's not like, the business model works even if you sold
it for a loss, but at least it's sold.
Yeah. but then can you remember your first sale, Harry?
Yeah, mine was on Amazon on Amazon. I think it was a doll. I think I bought it from Products for Profit, and there wasn't very many. I bought it from not from Products for Profit. It was posted in Products for Profit, and I bought it from Smiths, and then I think I bought it for like 15 and sold it for 50, and I was like, I mean, it was the only sale I made that month. But I was like, yeah, it hit like crack. Yeah. What about you guys? What was your first sales?
Mine was a chimney fire pit thing from it was either Lidl or Aldi, I think. Because it was during lockdown. It was sort of hot tubs and chimneys were the really popular products, and bought it for I think it was like 50 quid and sold it for 130 on the same day. Like literally, I think I got the eBay notification on the way home. And for Amazon, it was an advent calendar because I started in November 2020. So got a few advent calendars in. I was like, oh yeah. How about you guys?
I remember me and Alex, the guy me and Ben owned the prep center with, we were really excited to do Amazon. So we went and we didn't even have Seller Amp. We were just using the Amazon Seller app, and we were scanning everything in B&M. We ended up with like shit tons of stuff, 2 cars full of stuff. And then we took it back to my place, and we realized, oh wait, we actually can't sell like more than half of it because it's restricted. It's hazmat. We had no idea how to check it. We weren't using Seller Amp. So we ended up having to return all the stuff. But anyway, my first ever thing, I think, was a Febreze air freshener.
Nice.
Yeah.
Felix, you're going to have to help us here because Gage has definitely got the award for the weirdest thing that he sold on Amazon out of the 3 of us. What's the weirdest thing you've sold on Amazon?
Weirdest thing I've sold on Amazon? Actually, something springs to mind. I bought some forks the other day on an Amazon like just forks to eat with. I think I bought them for like 20 quid for a single fork, bear in mind, which I already
One
think,
fork?
Yeah. I know. Already expensive. And I was like, what? Why is this sort of thing? Look at the price chart. They sell for like 70 quid each or something per fork.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's actually crazy.
Who's buying this stuff?
It's ridiculous. But you just got to trust.
I think I think I even put a little thing on the prep sheet being like, this is really what I'm selling nowadays. Bloody forks. Like, it's just such a weird thing.
That is weird.
Who's buying, like, I can understand a cutlery set or something,
Yes.
but not
Well,
just a
cutlery
single
set,
fork.
fair enough, but a single one.
That is
like,
yacht money, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
A fork for
times that by
70
like
quid.
10 or something. You spent like 700 quid on just your forks. What about the knives?
Yeah, what about the
Good.
knives?
Yeah. Ridiculous money. That's probably the weirdest, at least that springs to mind.
Do I still win weirdest award then?
Yeah.
Do you know what I've sold, Felix?
What?
Internal deodorants.
Wait, hang on. How do you think that works?
Yeah.
Is it a pill?
Close.
Take,
Yeah.
Or...
It's like a syrup, I think.
syrup?
Yeah, syrup. You have it, like cough medicine,
Mm.
and then it's meant to make your sweat not smell.
You've got to really stink to
Yeah.
be buying that.
Yeah.
So but my initial thought when Gage told that story was it was like a deodorant can that you just stick up your bum.
The only person to ever think that.
It shows how my brain's
there was just silence in the room, and Ben was like, "Is it?"
I think Ben's projecting.
Yeah.
possibly.
Oh my god. So Jesse, the editor we have here, he showed me a TikTok before Ben got here today, and he said, "This is the first TikTok I saw today." And you've put big boobied women on your TikTok now, Ben, on your latest post.
I'm getting desperate now for engagement.
It's really it's just like big boob women, and then it's me, and then it's like, what? People who know me are gonna see this, Ben, and think I'm some sort of pervert.
I think the initial because you have to freeze frame on a bit, and it's you saying, "I'm doing OnlyFans management."
Oh my god!
Even though Gage, for the record, isn't doing OnlyFans.
No,
management.
not even-
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's so true because I was having a look at your coding video.
Whoa.
And I think there was a moment your editor may have forgotten to blur your bookmarks.
Oh god, please don't. Oh,
There was-
editor,
I
fix that.
couldn't see the whole
Episode
thing, but I'm
1.
pretty sure it said like OnlyFans payout H, and then the
Do
rest is cut
not,
off.
do
It's,
not click the episode 1 of the coding video. Do not click it, please, and definitely don't leave a like and a comment.
So you've just recorded episode 2 of that, right?
I have, yeah. Even did a suggestion from Billy Bob 2322 or something. Thanks, Billy Bob.
So yeah, well, what's in store for episode 2?
So in the first episode, we took all of the orders from the account using the API, and now we're going through the orders, getting the cost of the order, our total sales, total profit, total ROI, all of the stuff that Seller Toolkit tells you. We work out in that episode.
No, that's really cool. So you're effectively showing people how to code their own sort of Seller Toolkit.
Yes,
life, if you like.
and then in our next episode, I'll show them how to connect the script they just made to the internet. So then we can build our own little dashboard.
And
You're going to spawn like 10 new dashboards from
Yeah,
this
yeah,
video.
probably.
There's going to be people undercutting on their version of Seller Toolkit.
Yeah. Seller Toolkit's going to go down to like $1 a month.
Yeah.
Gay toolkit, race to the bottom.
Yeah, I remember the gay
Brilliant.
pricer.
Yes.
The real ones will remember that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The initial name for a cent was Gay Pricer, race to the bottom.
Yeah.
The whole gay brand. Great.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, absolutely. So, but Harry, you've just got back from skiing, so
Yes.
and I didn't notice any limping, so you've managed to. Come away
No, I've
unscathed.
come out unscathed,
Yeah.
which is good. I was so nervous at the start. I thought I was going to come back in a cast. Honestly, yeah. Well, I mean, I did my cruciate ligaments like 2 years ago as well, and yeah, that was like took ages to get over, and I just like felt pain in my knees on the first day. I was like, oh no, this is not good. But yeah, no, it's quality. Have you guys ever been skiing?
Never
Never.
once. It does look good though.
If you're into sports, it's so good. Like I was saying to Ben and Gage yesterday that thing is with Amazon, you're behind a screen all day. And then once you're out doing skiing, you're doing sports, and you're doing it all day, you just don't think of anything. You're not behind a screen. It's so like it's so therapeutic just be out for a week and not be behind a screen. So yeah,
I think I need that. Might
yeah.
have to go book a ski holiday.
And getting it at Après as well, because it's quite it's quite funny seeing the videos. So like people just getting absolutely smashed and then like tumbling down the hill. I didn't make it over to that side.
I reckon
unfortunately.
you could achieve that same effect by just taking lots of heroin. Just avoid the ski holiday altogether.
Probably cheaper. Probably
Yeah.
cheaper ski holiday. Yeah.
It sounds like something that your friend.
Yeah, not health advice.
I do have a fun story for this one. So I'm a little bit tired this podcast because last night, me and my girlfriend were about to go to sleep. She's like, Gage, I think I smell gas. I'm like, oh, it's just in your head. Let's just go to sleep. She's like, no, I really smell gas. I'm like, okay, go check then. She's like, stands up. Yeah, it smells of gas. I go downstairs, stinks of gas. She's left the fucking gas on the hob for the last 2 or 3 hours. Oh. So it's just been filling our house with carbon monoxide, right? And we've been breathing it in for the last 3 hours. So she's freaking out because she's like, oh my God, we've got carbon monoxide poisoning. We're going to die. I'm like, it's fine. We'll just get some fresh air. I just opened the windows. I was like, just get in the car. It's fine. And then I'm unplugging the car and I'm in a dressing gown that doesn't have any pockets. So I accidentally put the keys in the boot as I close the boot. And then I get in the car and I go, oh, I don't have my keys. And she goes, Gage, confusion is a symptom of carbon monoxide. And I just laugh hysterically. So then I had to spend some time calming everything down.
So what did you do? Go for a walk to get some fresh air? Or something?
Just went for a drive.
Yeah,
because I was wearing a dressing gown with no underpants, so that would not have been a good idea.
No, well, glad you lived to tell the tale.
Wandering around at 1 a.m. dressed like that.
But can you imagine? I literally told her like, "There's no smell of gas. It's in your head," and there was an actual gas leak in my house. I could have died. I could have gone to sleep and not woken up.
Well, at least you didn't have like light up a cigarette just to get over the stress of it.
Cigarette before bed. No, mental. Absolutely mental.
Oh, glad you made it.
We've just been waiting for you to pick me up and just you never came.
Yeah. She's just waiting in his house.
That would have been a good one to get pulled over by the police last night, wouldn't it? In your dressing gown.
Yeah.
Keys
spread.
in the boot.
Keys in the boot. Yeah, I'm not drunk. I'm just a carbon monoxide. I did think, actually, I was driving towards the hospital, just in case anyone pulled me over. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to the hospital. Because I don't know what the rule is of driving with no underpants. Is that public indecency? I don't know.
No, you can't. No. What did you wear on your feet? Did you wear slippers?
Is that a legitimate question? I wore shoes, I think.
So you wore shoes and a dressing gown? That's rogue.
Because I don't own slippers.
Oh, okay.
That's you're guilty to the fashion police.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I'm not a beta male. Don't wear
no, but you're not allowed to wear slippers or like sliders and drive.
That's illegal. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
So you would have got done for that, but not for being naked.
What do you think of all the hate you get on Twitter then, Felix? Good transition.
I don't know, it doesn't really faze me, to be honest. Like, if people want to hate, it's usually because they've got some ulterior motives. I mean, the only people that really come after me are the people that are arguably my competitors on Twitter, like people that are trying to sell memberships, and are like very pivoted around that. So it's clear to see why they would, because, you know, if you discredit someone on Twitter, they might go with you instead of with me. So I don't know, they can do what they want, but I think majority of people that like aren't those people that are directly, you know, calling me out and trying to make stuff up about me and stuff. I get so many DMs of like, either that it makes both of us look unprofessional and it just looks bad for everyone involved, which, you know, obviously isn't great. But most of the time they're just like, I don't get why. They'll go unnamed, but, you know, I think we all know who. I don't get why they're always, you know, coming after you and, you know, for no good reason.
Have you ever had a conversation with any of these people that come after you?
No, which is actually ridiculous. In fact, arguably the main offender, we've had one conversation once where we were going to go halves on a wholesale deal. And that's the only time I've ever talked to him, ever. And I've like, apart from once where, before I blocked him most recently, I reached out to him. I was like, why are you such a cunt? Like, what, we could just be friends and like working together. Like, we're both like similar level in the Amazon game. It makes no sense for you to be like this hostile. But, you know.
And did he reply?
Yeah, he did. He just was like, oh, I just don't like you. I don't know, he just gave some bullshit reason. But yeah,
I think a lot of people, they take your success at your age one of two ways, just like Ben said earlier. I mean, there's loads of people that have said like, oh, you know, at 20 I was getting pissed at the kebab shop and throwing up and whatever. And
I still do that.
Yeah. But, you know, you're doing all this and it's so good, you know, congrats. But other people think like, oh, I was at kebab shop at 20 throwing up. This guy, he didn't deserve it. It was handed to him. I'm just like, he got lucky. They'll throw every excuse at the book to try and justify it.
One of the things was someone commented like, "Oh, daddy's money." Like, my dad is a labourer. He's a Polish builder. Like, he's not exactly strapped for cash. And my mum, I don't think she's even got a taxable income. She's a yoga teacher, like part-time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not from some mad rich family or anything. I just started with nothing when I was like 13 and just kept flipping over the money until now.
The most frustrating thing has been people go like, "Oh, you're so lucky."
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
no.
I'm so lucky that I worked hard.
Yeah, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
I'll literally be on the toilet, like on my phone, trying to fucking work. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really take days off. Like, even when I go on holiday, I still work for several hours in the morning. Like,
and next thing you know, you've been taking a shit for 2 hours.
yeah.
I think age is probably quite a big thing. So if you're like in your 40s with a couple of kids in a sexless marriage, and some kid comes along and is now doing way better than you, that might hit you in your ego a little bit, and
it probably will.
And I see this quite a lot where people are lovely to you, they'll be really supportive and things until you start doing better than them, and then suddenly it's like, oh, hang on, no, I wanted you to stay below me, sort of thing. I see this a lot with people who run groups and things, but like, yeah, like we obviously co-own All Things Arbitrage, which you joined to get started, and there's loads of people who have taken the knowledge from the group and are now doing bigger and better than us in our own Amazon businesses, and that gives me nothing but sheer joy. It's like, wow, we've helped this person scale up and everything.
Yeah, like if I've ever got mentorship clients and then they're doing really well, I'm instantly like, yeah, go on, like, well done. Like, it's obviously working well for you, works well for me. Like, everyone's making money. It doesn't make me lose money. Like, if they're doing well, I don't really see why you wouldn't be happy.
No, exactly. Like, Amazon is so vast. There's plenty of money out there for everyone. We can all eat. I don't understand.
No, we can't. No, we have to take everyone down.
I want the whole $1 trillion sales a year to myself.
It's called the 50K curse, isn't it? Once you hit that in a month, that's it. You're doomed.
Yeah, I think it was Charlie that coined that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just explain the 50K curse.
So it's usually people are quite, when they join like ATA or the Twitter community, they, quite humble or like active, nice people. And then when they start to do well, they start to transition a bit. And then when they hit that 50,000 revenue pound mark in a month, that's it. There's no going back.
You're just
a
cunt at that point.
Yeah. Luckily for me, I was a cunt before that.
Yeah. I'd say I'm pretty friendly to most people that message me. I mean, like, even beginners. I'll just Yeah,
I've never seen you tweet something that was unreasonable. I don't think. Yeah. You've never come at anyone or anything.
Like, I'll speak my mind. If I think what someone else is doing is maybe, a bit weird, like, I'll just share my thoughts. But I never personally attack someone or come after anyone. I don't personally dislike anyone. I think we're just random people on the internet. I don't really have an opinion of you. Like, I don't
That's always
know
what I
you.
find weird is I could not hate someone I don't actually know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, it'll be interesting to see if it changes now. You've actually you've done a face reveal, so you're now actually a person. You're not just like a cat on Twitter.
Are there people that the other offenders? Do they reveal their face on social media?
One of it, yeah. I mean, nah, not really. The main person that was always coming after me, I've not seen his face. I don't believe he's done any.
You think he's a cat too?
Maybe.
That's the rivalry.
I think he's just
Amazon's all a front. They're both cats.
That'd be funny. I think more likely he's just a bald 40-year-old man. But I guess maybe we should have him on the podcast. That would certainly be interesting.
Yeah, if he is indeed a person.
Yeah.
Meow meow. So Felix, what tip would you give to a brand new seller starting on Amazon tomorrow?
Just network with other people, talk to other sellers that are starting out, help each other. Join a group, but don't join a leads group. Don't be just buying leads off Discord. You're not going to make money doing that. There's a reason why they're in that group and not being used by the people that find them. Find a group where it's people that are supportive and you can just build with other people that are on the same level and just learn from each other. Like, I mean, that's how I got started. I just would I'd message bigger sellers, I message smaller sellers, and just kind of, just figure out how they were doing their thing and just learn from that and apply it to my own business.
I just want to say we didn't pay him to say that. join ATA.
I'm there with a gun on the table.
Yeah, we're paying him after the episode.
You've got two guns right there. I think that's enough.
I do like ATA, but I mean, there are other groups that I'm sure are decent. But ATA is where I started though, so it's definitely what I'd recommend to people. But yeah, it's just talk to people, just network and learn from each other.
That's definitely something I neglected at the start, was the networking side, because all my previous business, I was very much a lone wolf. I'd never message anyone. If people messaged me, I'd be very short with them. But now, it's so helpful to have collective knowledge from other people. And my Amazon business didn't really start taking off until I adapted and started networking with people, and then my business really, really took off. And if I never would have done that, maybe it still would have, but I don't think at the same level that it did.
No, I agree. I think that people have a misconception that you need to take advice from people that are just above you, and that you should only be taking advice from people better than you. There's so much to learn from people who are starting out, because I feel like when you get along the journey, you neglect the basics, and you go, actually, no, that's a really good point. So you can learn from everyone.
You become a bit blind to some things when you've been selling for a while.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a new perspective.
Yeah, and I've said this before, but if you can find someone who's on the same level as you, who started at a similar time to compete with, someone ahead of you to mentor you, and someone behind you to mentor yourself, that's just going to completely skyrocket your growth, because you're talking about Amazon every day, you're competing, you're helping, you're being taught from someone who's ahead of you, and that I've been doing that pretty much. I think
that's the other thing as well, is just completely immerse yourself in it. Like, if you really are committed to making it work and you want to do like crazy numbers and all that stuff, you need to just be doing it all the time, every day. And it's like doing anything. You don't get good at something by just doing it every now and then. You got to be waking up and you got to think, all right, what am I going to do today to make my goals work?
And especially with something like Amazon, because they change the fucking goalposts on almost a daily, weekly basis.
You've got to learn to adapt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm definitely not doing the same things I was doing 6 months ago or a year ago or whatever.
No, absolutely.
Speaking of Amazon changing the goalposts, next month they're implementing a change to the US shipping, which I wonder might come here.
God.
Is they're doing, when you do a shipment and you put all the items in there, and then it splits it up into like 4 or 5 different locations, and it's very annoying to prep. What they're doing is they are offering you so you can ship all to one location, all of your units go there, but then you get charged a fee per item so that it's all shipped to one place. So you can have fully to one center, you can have mixed, or you can have Amazon complete control, and you end up shipping it to loads of places. So they're shafting US sellers, because now, instead of only getting, like, you have to ship to 2 or 3 places, you might have to ship to 5 or 6, unless they're going to charge you. Unless you're going to pay the fee.
So are they doing that more so that it's not being received by, like, say, if you do a standard size shipment, now they're auto distributing it to fulfillment centers without having to receive it, then do it?
Exactly, yeah. So they're trying to reduce the transfer of when it gets to Amazon, then they have to pay to transfer their goods. They're going to say, fuck you, you're paying for the transfer of goods now.
So they're passing the cost onto the seller again.
Exactly,
yeah. Do you know what the fee per unit is?
I think if you want to have it all to one center, it's an extra 45 cents a unit.
Wow.
And then you have to pay for it to then be transferred from there on top, or is that?
Oh no. That's what it covers. Is like that covers the transfer, so you don't have that fee. But they have reduced fulfillment fees by 20 cents, so it's not that much. It's only the 25-cent difference. But yeah, interesting. I wonder if that will come to the UK. It'll be like, if you want to ship to one place, then you pay an additional fee.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's states in the USA that are bigger than the UK. Yeah. So because there's less shipping involved between fulfillment centers, maybe it won't. But usually when Amazon make changes in the US, in a couple of months' time, it comes to the UK. Because I think the fee increase that we've seen recently, that happened in the US last year and then came to the UK in February this year.
Oh, there's an additional filter with it as well. You can select which area of the US you want your item shipped to. So if you're on the West Coast, it's quicker and cheaper to ship to fulfillment centers in the West Coast, but then they charge you an additional per unit fee for that as well.
I wonder if that would impact their sales as well, because if you've got, like, if you have FT transfer, it goes all around the country. Say that item you spent 30 grand on, and let's say you're only sending it to a few states, you're kind of restricting your ability to sell all over the country.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, if you only had it up north, then you're never going to win the buy box from someone buying down south.
Yeah.
Usually, if I've got a shipment of like a large volume of units, I'll sometimes ask the prep center to split it up into a few different shipments in the aim of hopefully getting to a few different locations.
It's a good point.
Trying to increase that buy box share.
Yeah, that's a good point, because obviously because it's really annoying when your shipment gets received and then immediately goes into FC transfer. But if you've got a lot of units, actually, if a quarter of them go to the first place and then you send the next quarter in a week later, it's going to say, oh, we've already got a load here, now you can send it here, and it doesn't go into FC transfer. Good
what do you think your hardest moment or biggest mistake was so far on your Amazon journey?
I would say trusting this board game supplier. So this is actually something I've been called out on Twitter for, which is somehow my fault. But basically, so I had someone message me on Amazon, which to be honest should be the first red flag. But they were just like, oh, I've got these board games, a board games company. We're looking for like wholesale people to work with, and it's like proper registered company. And I got all their address details, and they've got a unit. Like, it's a real place. And it all seemed legit. Like I was very wary of it because I was like, it's a bit weird. But they actually sent me the stock first before I paid for it. So I was like, well, what's the risk here? It all seemed fine to me.
That's unusual. They sent you the stock before they asked for payment.
Yeah, because I was just really suspicious of it, because I was just like, it's weird. Like I asked them, I think I asked to pay via PayPal, so I was like covered, and they were like, no, you can just pay when it gets to you.
Wow.
Yeah, turns out after sending it in, pretty much instantly got just like IP claimed on the listing and got an unauthorized claim as well. And yeah, it turns out you can get fake board games, and that's a thing. So after, it took me like 6 months to get it sorted, of like threatening this guy with legal action. I was not going to go and hire a lawyer, because I mean, it was a few £1,000s I'd spent, but I called my regular lawyer and he was like, I'm 145 an hour, which I wasn't really keen on paying.
Yeah, then so, you're paying more legal fees.
Yeah, so I wrote up like a refund agreement contract myself and was like, oh, my lawyer sent me this to pass on to you to sign. I managed to get him to sign it in the end, and he did refund majority of the money. Definitely still down a few £1,000.
God, what a dickhead.
That was not good. But the real kick in the teeth is, after this fucking awful mistake, I've been scammed. Someone on Twitter tried to spin it as if I was on purpose buying and selling fake goods, and this was like how I make all my money. Just makes
comes
no
back
sense.
to that jealousy of people,
It's like,
anything.
There's got to be something he's doing.
A sizable dent out of my figures for the year because of how much I lost from all the fees and having stock that Amazon didn't even send back, because that's just their policy. And yeah, not ideal. Basically, don't trust any supplier that's not VAT registered, because it's just suspicious.
Yeah, maybe don't trust people from your Amazon messages.
Or Amazon messages as well. That's definitely true. Yeah. Just ignore anyone that's not.
And if someone sends you a bunch of thousands of pounds worth of goods without asking for payments, probably too good to be true.
It just never registered in my mind. Fake board games of all things. Yeah. But I've realised now, after watching like documentaries on YouTube, you can get fake anything. Like, saw a thing for fake Ferrari brakes, which sounds absolutely awful. Like,
I had a weird Amazon message recently. So on my US account, I got a message like, "Oh, I see you're selling this ASIN. What is is this the correct size chart for this shoe?" And then they attach an image. I'm not clicking any links, but so I opened it in like a virtual machine, and it's a cease and desist letter that they've like disguised as a like says like, oh, shoe size chart, and it's a cease and desist letter to stop selling the ASIN. So they're tricking you into opening it, and then I guess maybe because you've opened it, you're legally obligated to follow it. Like how in America they serve you with documents, they'll pay someone to dress up as a pizza delivery guy, and then when they give you a pizza, like, oh, here's the documents. Yeah, isn't that weird?
I've seen that. Yeah, it does sound like that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah, and I ignored the message without opening it 3 times. It sent me a 4th one. I was like, oh, fine, I'll fucking buy it. I'll open it in a virtual machine. And yeah, literally just a cease and desist letter. I was like, it was the least thing. I was expecting a virus, and it was a cease and desist letter.
Was it actually from the brand, or was it one of those fake messages that you get?
Well, you don't know. You never know if it's from the brand or not. I trust it when I get like some sort of letter.
Yeah, if it's in the post, I'll respect it.
Yeah, if it's in the post and it's got some sort of legal heading of like a law firm I can actually look up. Like,
I usually try and contact them as well to make sure.
I get quite a few from the US, actually. They send them out like hotcakes there. And they send it to my UK address. And to send a letter, that contains lots of documents, which they tend to do. It's like £40. They've sent me like 10 of them. I think you spent 400 quid. Like, you could just shot me an email.
Well, I don't understand. If they wanted to send you a cease and desist letter, why do they not just send it as a cease and desist? Why have they disguised it?
I reckon potentially I could claim like, oh, I never opened it, because it's in the UK. It doesn't work like that. You know, if I'm trying to sue someone, I don't have to like physically go and give them the papers. I just send it to their address. Whereas in the US, it's almost like you have to do like a gotcha moment that they definitely got it.
Was the brand you were selling, were Amazon on the listing as well, by any chance?
No.
It's a weird one, because I was speaking with someone the other day who works for that side of doing dealing with Amazon, and they work on behalf of a brand. So actually, the reason why we get these cease and desist letters is because if Amazon aren't getting sales, then Amazon bill the brand for the loss of sales for that.
Oh, that's
so not only that.
Wow.
So when you're undercutting people as well, obviously you're devaluing the brand. So say like Charlotte Tilbury, for example, that usually only comes out when people just bomb the listings, and it's just a mass IP claim, because obviously it just devalues the product. But if say like the Shark Ninja ones, I've never had a letter through, but I've found that people who have got letters are like at the very bottom of the listing. And if you're like in and around the Amazon price, then well, they can just say, well, Amazon, you were the one who reduced your price. They could have bought through your channel. We're not going to pay that, that extra.
Wow, I never knew that.
But if you're basically undercutting Amazon, they'll send you cease and desist letters and things like that to get you off, because otherwise they're going to have to pay a load of money out. But there's actually also apparently, unless they want to pursue it, not much they can really do about just kind of frighten you into trying to getting off the listing.
Yeah, I have ignored Shark Ninjas once before, and been all right. But
you've never opened the letters, Felix.
Oh yeah, I don't really sell much of their stuff anymore. But I do notice it's usually on listings where they're tanking. I actually had a message through the other day from a buyer, and I ignored it because I just thought it was some other seller trying to pull the wool over my eyes. But it turns out it was the brand, because about 2 days later I had an IP claim. But thankfully Amazon invoice just defeated it. But
I've had a brand tell me that they'd sell me their products direct, but only if I raised the price on their products first. And I was like, what? Like, you want me to raise the price? And he's like, yeah, we just don't want to see anyone devaluing the product. So just like Harry said, they'll give you the product, but you have to price at their set price. And if you don't, they won't sell it to you.
It's mental that they would put that in writing as well, because that is, price fixing.
Oh, yeah, he didn't put it in writing. He told me in person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be why then.
Yeah. He was like, I got to have a conversation with you that I can't have over the phone.
That's always the start of an interesting conversation.
Yes.
You know something cool's coming then. So it's Valentine's Day today. So you're on a strict curfew. You almost got in trouble, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't realize that we were booked in for Valentine's, so Mrs. wasn't too pleased. So got to be home before 5 so I can make the dinner reservation.
Yeah, same here. When I told her last week, I'm going on a podcast on Wednesday, she was like, oh, on Valentine's Day. I was like, oh, it's not like I was planning on doing anything.
What about you, Harry? Are you up to much?
Not much. I'm just have you ever done the M&S dining? I always like it when it comes around to Valentine's Day, because you get like a starter, main, side, and dessert,
exactly what
and
my
a bottle of
girlfriend has got
Prosecco.
us. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm doing
It's actually
tonight.
sick. Even if you don't have a Valentine's, I recommend going to go get it, because it's good value. Yeah,
You heard it here first, folks.
Exactly.
Have you got an affiliate link for M&S?
Yeah, it's in down below.
Harry FBA at checkout.
So I've done the old Interflora trick that I mentioned, I think, on the last episode, where got us some roses, but obviously ordered it online to be delivered. So it looks like you put in load of effort, but actually you put in no effort. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah,
So
I don't get like going out to do it, or just get it delivered. Even if you pay like that slight premium, it just saves any headache.
And then we're having steak tonight,
Nice.
which is going to be good. So do you guys know March the 14th? What day that is?
No.
So March the 14th is Steak and Blowjob Day.
Oh wow!
But I'm in Florida this day next month, so we're combining the two into one. So Steak and Blowjob
Oh,
Day.
you go with your friends.
Yeah, that's a bit worrying.
Homosexual.
Yeah. But yeah, Steak and Blowjob Day. I think it was made by some Australian guys who were like, right, February the 14th is more kind of for the ladies, so there needs to be one for the guys as well. So yeah, I mean the name sort of says it already. So yeah, if you on March the 14th, if you're going around your supermarket and you see some ladies looking around the steak section, you know what's going down.
Don't want to be around Ben on March the 14th.
Yeah, his friends are going to be frightened listening back to this podcast.
Don't want to catch a stray mouth.
Yeah, so should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. So yeah, catch you on the next episode of All Things Podcast. Thanks for joining us, Felix.
No worries,
definitely have you back again. Yeah, nice one.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you later.
Bye.